Hey, Subira. Hey, everybody. David Baer here with DIY Digital, along with Sensei Subira. Hey, Subira, how's stuff going?
It's good today. It's been a crazy day, but it's good. It's good.
Good, good. All right. Looks like we are, in fact, live on the app as well. So glad to see you. Hey, if you are out there and listening to us live, it looks like we have two or three folks. We have a few more there who just joined us. So welcome. And please say hello in the comments. If you have any questions along the way, one or both of us will be trying to keep our eyes on the comments along the way if you have something that you'd like to add to the conversation. So, Subira, you just ran back in. I just ran back in from a meeting, and this is something that I think you are a video professional, right? You spend time on video. I don't do this that often, so I want to know how do you just snap into to
You
video
know,
broadcasting mode?
first of all, I love it. That's the first thing is I really love being live. And I always kind of have in mind a framework of where I'm going to go. I don't always have it laid out, but I really thrive off of being live, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Yeah, absolutely. So I promised everybody today that our subject matter was going to be getting your business online fast. And this is something that you and I know pretty darn well at this point. And in fact, we're going to be talking about one of the approaches to getting online fast. And it's something that actually is responsible for you and I meeting in the first place. So you want to talk a little bit about what it is that you do in your business and how this subject matter, getting people online quickly and effectively in their business, how that enters into all of it?
Absolutely. I love it. I work with what I like to call enlightened entrepreneurs, spiritual entrepreneurs. So, those folks of us who run our business from, this intersection of enlightenment, spirituality, whatever you want to call it. But we also realize we're entrepreneurs as well and have kind of embraced that. Um, the market sometimes is a little bit difficult for those of us who kind of have that come from.
Hmm.
And so my role in the marketplace is to support those types of entrepreneurs to actually learn how to use video, specifically live video, to tell your story. So rather than focus on buy my stuff and putting out links, just get on and be who you are, tell your story. And absolutely, yes, I have something that may be a solution to a pain that you have. But the more important thing is tell your story.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's lots of different modes, lots of different platforms that people can do this with. And what brought you and me together was one particular platform. We're going to talk a little bit about that platform today and how it may be a good solution for people. But what I really want people to take away from our conversation and our presentation today, more than anything, even though you and I are passionate about this particular platform called 22 Social. We'll get into that in a little bit. There's a principle behind what we're going to teach today that can be applied to any number of different platforms. And so if what we're talking about feels like a sales pitch for 22 Social, well, yes, it is, but it's also about showing you a way of thinking that I think is really, really important when it comes to doing business online, which is to do things quickly, with agility, and with purpose, with focus. You want to talk a little
Mm.
bit about how that enters into the work that you're doing with your clients, and I'll start bringing up our slides here while you're doing that.
Sure, sure. Well, getting caught up into those shiny objects, that's something almost every entrepreneur across the board, especially if you're in the online space, has to eventually. That's something you're going to have to contend with. But what I find, especially for the entrepreneurs I work with, is that we tend to be a little not so focused people. That's just who we are. A little kind of like just go with the flow, and kind of things will come in the right time and kumbaya. And while that's great, it's about balancing that with, you must be focused, you must have a plan, you must have a strategy, and it must be easy.
Mhm.
And I believe, you know, those are some of the core principles that you and I really work off of.
Oh yeah, totally. I think a lot of us get hung up on things that are cool and fun to play with, and then we realize, wow, this is really complicating our lives. So why don't we dive into this presentation here
Hmm.
in just a moment? All right, let's blow that up so everybody can see it a little bit better. Uh, you seeing the full screen? Let me know if you are.
It's loading. It's coming right up, it
Okay.
looks like.
All right. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
And I'll try to keep an eye on comments if there are any questions that come in along the way. But if you wouldn't mind helping out with that as well, and if there's
Sure.
anything you want to dive in here uh, and comment on, please do along the way. I'm going to try to get us through this conversation and the presentation as quickly as possible, so that we can actually come back and talk a little bit about you know, real world applications for some of these ideas. So today, as I promised, we're talking about getting your business online fast. And you know, who is this particular conversation for? Who is this training for? Well, if you're a solo entrepreneur and you're overwhelmed or stuck, as many of us have been, I know that I certainly have, and Sabira, I imagine you have too. Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, are you kidding
You're
me? Absolutely.
if you're exhausted, as I think both of us have experienced, or just tired
Mhm.
of like going in circles over and over again and not really progressing, well, obviously this is really focused on that audience. If you're stuck in a job and you actually want to get out of that and start doing something else, maybe you've been trying to do something on the side and you want to build out your own business, this is a training for you. And if you're just fed up with the whole shiny object thing that Subir was just talking about, and you're seeing all of these, you know, this new, I was just looking at my email and I was like, oh, I got to check this out. Wait a second, David. And I slapped my hand and I was like, you know,
Mm,
stop doing that, because
yep.
there's always cool stuff out there that we want. And, you know, understanding how it is going to enhance our business, enhance our prospects and clients' lives is really important. So if you're just like the two of us, you know, subjected to shiny object syndrome, this is absolutely for you, because we want to help you focus and really get you know, your online business moving effectively in the right direction. And so we're going to talk today about 22 Social specifically. As I told you earlier, this is one solution that Sabira and I use, and you can see examples of what we do in our businesses using this particular tool. And we love this tool. We wouldn't be out here preaching the 22 Social gospel if we didn't, right?
Right, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. And so I wanted to, you know, remind you that while this is a great solution for many businesses, and we'll talk in detail about how to use this, that still you can apply a lot of what we're talking about to other platforms as well. So don't feel like you're wasting your time here listening to how to use 22 Social. There's a lot of really good content here. Now, if you don't know 22 Social, I discovered it in late 2012. I joined up with these guys using it to build my email list. That was sort of like the cool thing. I could get people to join my email list and throw a little video on Facebook and encourage people to get to know me better by joining my email list. And that was super cool. And they have built out so much since then. Subira, you got on pretty early as well, right?
Yeah, it was 2012, and I started using it because I was already doing videos, but I was only on YouTube.
Mhm.
And one of the awesome things that I loved about what the software did was that it allowed me to marry or kind of bridge the gap between Facebook and YouTube. At the time, you know,
Yeah.
Facebook didn't have all these live videos. So,
Which, by the way, is what we're doing right now. If you're watching this live, we are inside of what's called a 22 Social app. We'll get a little bit more into detail about that. And we're using YouTube. We're using Google Hangouts, broadcasting on YouTube, and putting this right inside of Facebook, which I think is super cool. And you know, have a handful of people here live listening to us who can actually comment and interact with us in the comment stream below this video. So
Mhm.
really, really cool. There's a bunch of people out there. Mari Smith, the goddess of all things Facebook. Jay Baer of Convincing Convert. Is that what he does? I don't, he has
Yes.
the same last name as me, but we're not related. I don't know. And of course Subira and myself, right? And there have been millions of dollars made through online sales using this platform. There are over 50,000 users, and we actually you participated in this experiment that we did. That was like a year and a half ago now, right?
Yeah.
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 Um, and we formed a really amazing community as a result of people who went through this process of building out businesses inside of Facebook using this tool. And it's one of the aspects of 22 Social that I think it isn't talked about enough, is that while there's some really, really cool software, the fact that people like Subira and I could come together and collaborate and learn from each other
Mhm.
is one of the amazing added bonuses because of the existence of 22 Social. So,
Mhm.
and here's a fun fact that they like to tout at 22 Social. They actually had a website, but it wasn't until they actually started using their own product that they really became a successful business on their own.
And
And
that's
that
amazing.
yeah.
That's amazing.
So here's what we're going to learn today: why well-intentioned entrepreneurs are constantly failing miserably. And I have failed many, many times because of this, despite having access to amazing information, amazing technology, better than we've ever had before in our history, right? So we're gonna talk a little bit about that, and not just how or why people are failing, but we have a solution, and that lies in 22 Social, but it also lies in what you're going to learn about how you can leverage this platform quickly and easily and effectively. And I love this note here on the slide that I don't know who put the slide together originally, Andrew or Will. That you can crack the code in less than 30 days, and no, 30
Not a
days is not a typo.
typo. I love that too. I love that too. It's true. You can do it in a day.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And here is the most awesome part. Everything that we're about to teach you applies to just about any business type out there that's trying to succeed online. So this isn't just about being a great internet marketer, but for coaches, consultants, even small businesses, local businesses, you can use these ideas, and you can be up and running online quickly and easily, like you just said, in a day. So
Mhm.
I'm pretty excited to move forward with our 3-step formula for actually getting your business online fast. So are you ready, Sabira?
Let's do it and
All
let's
right.
do the formula fast. I like that.
Okay. Well, step one is getting focused, and
Mhm.
focus is a really, really important thing that I think, as we talked about with all the shiny objects out there, people struggle with that. And I actually just came from a meeting with somebody who is struggling with that himself, and I talked a lot about the importance of getting focused in his business on who he helps or what problem he solves, and he had tons and tons of excuses as to why that wasn't going to work. But at the end of the
Mhm.
conversation, he realized, you know what? I've heard so many people tell me this, and I've been so resistant to it. I'm finally ready to get focused. And that's absolutely true with when it comes to positioning your business online. Just the things that you're doing technically, there's so many overwhelming options out there. Like, you need to build a brand new website, or you need let's see, I don't know if I have. It's like, looks like they didn't appear in my in my progressive order that I had planned on. But you need a new website. You need to be number one on Google. You need to start using Snapchat or blogging daily, or you need to tweet 15 times a day, or get reviews on Yelp, or any number of other things that we're all told we need to be doing. And this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of stuff that I hear. What else do you hear out there?
Oh, you name it. I need to be, well, I need to be making videos daily because that's what I tell my
Yeah,
students.
yeah. Oh, you're part of the problem.
I'm part of the problem. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I think that this this just sounds familiar to everybody out there.
Yeah.
We all hear this. We all struggle with this. And the whole point of getting focused is that it's really going to help us make decisions more quickly, more easily, more effectively, and have greater agility rather than having to, build up a whole website. And then one thing that I hear quite a bit, and I imagine you hear this too, is I had somebody build my website. Now I can't get a hold of them, or they're taking forever to make these changes that I need them to make. Well,
Yeah. The
that's
biggest thing
what,
I hear,
yeah.
David, is how expensive it is to get a website built.
Yeah, and you and I have learned some of that stuff ourselves, and I've built almost every single website that I've ever been associated with. I have never outsourced it, but it was a lot of time for me to learn that stuff. So here's this great quote from Tony Robbins about focus. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate our power. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. And so what are we going to talk about when it comes to focus? Well, we're going to talk about Facebook, right? We're on Facebook right now. Everybody's showing up on Facebook to watch this, unless you're watching the replay somewhere else. Facebook has become the hub of my business. To a certain extent, Subira, you were just talking about the fact that you married YouTube and Facebook together.
Yep, I used to be married to YouTube, and we kind of separated, and now I'm seeing Facebook pretty much exclusively.
I see a notification every day
Yeah.
that says that you just went live on Facebook Live, and why? So why Facebook? Why Facebook? Well, look, it's where the people are.
Yeah.
It's where everybody is. And so, are you going to set your business up in the mall on the left or the mall on the right? Is the question, right? I'm pretty sure that we know the answer is where people are. Makes a lot of sense. Now, is this really appropriate for every single business type? The fact is that even if you're in a B2B sort of situation where you're dealing with professionals, they all have Facebook accounts too. And yes, there are some people who don't, but there are plenty of people who you haven't connected with yet who do, and who would gladly like to connect with you and follow you and work with you once they discover you on Facebook. And that's only one part of the reason why we believe in the power of Facebook for business. Here's a little bit more, and maybe you want to run through these a little bit, Subira.
This is something when I figured out how many people were active on Facebook, it is mind-boggling. 1.61 billion active users every day, all day. Most people wake up and the first thing they do is check their Facebook account.
I think that's a monthly number, but still, even if you can extrapolate the daily number, that's crazy.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It absolutely, once you get familiar with the ad platform and see, it is really like you have a spaceship there, and you can actually control so much at your fingertips. The ability to relate and build right where your prospects are. Like, people don't want to come to you. Nobody wants to get in their car and really go to the mall. We all want to get online and be able to connect right there. So the fact that you can go where they are and make it easy for people to connect with you. And the biggest thing is the speed to market, because people are there. Once they get to know, like, and trust you, you're in. It's just so easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of easy, let's talk a little bit about what you were just talking about earlier. There's the hard way, right? There's getting the website up, and that includes going out, and I had this conversation with a client the other day about the difference between the domain name registrar and the hosting company and the this and the that, and there's so many pieces to just getting a website up and running. And I wanted to educate them. I wanted them to understand the complexity of it, but I wanted them to really, it's their business. I wanted them to know what it was that we had to go through in order to get their website up and running. And at some point, they just sort of threw their hands up and said, David, I'm so overwhelmed and confused. I don't care about this stuff. I just want it done. And so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so there's the domain name, there's the hosting account, there's money to have somebody do the design work. And that's what you were talking about. Somebody outsourced that work to me at one point. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then if you want to, you know, optimize it so that Google can, you know, help people find you, there's all this SEO stuff that people are paying for. That's the hard way. We want to suggest the fast and easy way, which is leveraging 22 Social on Facebook. And, you know, you can have it up and running in seconds. You can utilize your fan page timeline as a blog, as a way to communicate and build community. There's already social stuff that's integrated directly into this because people are there actively present, and it's easy for them to engage, share, etc.
Mm-hmm.
On fan pages, you can have interactive messaging, you can post photos and videos and notes, so you can have like blog posts and things. You can do events, you can track so much data. There's so much analytical stuff that Facebook does on our behalf. It's already mobile optimized, so you don't have to worry about that part of your website design. And then you have the ability to leverage the data that Facebook has on their ad platform, which we were talking about earlier, and you can build this out further and further and further. So
Mm-hmm.
is that not fast and easy, or what?
It's super easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
All right.
mean,
Yeah. Let's keep moving forward. Let's move on to step 2, since we want to talk about simplicity.
mm-hmm.
Let's talk about what a simple process is. So if you are building out some aspect of your business online, and this goes for whether you're starting a brand new business online, to whether you have an offline business and you want to apply online methods to growing that business. First of all, you need to know that you have something that your market wants, right? And then you need to have a place online where they can get it. This is pretty simple, right?
Straightforward.
Okay, here's the crazy part. You need to have a way to deliver it. Okay? That's about as difficult as it gets. And because we like simplicity, we want to limit the technical barriers that could exist.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about the hard old way to do this, right? This is making money online. First, you attract people through a lead funnel. Maybe you have webinars or hangouts like we're doing right now. You go through content marketing where you have blog posts, and maybe you do advertising, and then you do email marketing to generate people to come and benefit from one of these income streams through digital products or subscriptions to newsletter. That's something that you focus on. Mastermind groups, things like that. Maybe you're doing affiliate sales, and you can do this on a website. But you have to remember, when you're doing this all on a website, you have things like the hosting and picking out the themes and adding the plugins to WordPress and all of the lead capture software that you have to add in there. Add viral promotion software and webinar software to do the webinars. And you need to have a payment system, a shopping cart system. Maybe you want to do a membership site, so you have additional software for that. And then you have a CRM, a customer relationship manager, and you have your email autoresponder, so that all of this can work together. So that's an example of how it's done. I do this in my business, and that is the complicated part of my business. I don't enjoy this part of it. What I do
Mm-hmm.
enjoy is the ease of the one-click app install. You want to talk a little bit about this?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, as someone who is not, I was actually a technophobe, right? It frightened me, the thought of having to learn all this stuff that I had to learn before 22 Social. And when 22 Social came along, literally I could click, boom, and this thing loads into my fan page. And then I just decorate it and put in the text that I want as if I was on a Word doc. It's
Yeah.
just that complicated, which is not complicated.
Or that uncomplicated.
Yeah,
That's
I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, absolutely.
That's as hard as it is. It's not hard.
It is beautiful in terms of the way that we can have something super sexy up and running in no time at
Hmm.
all, because of all of the hard work and brilliant coding work that these guys do that we have no need to ever have to know anything about or never have to touch. So how does that scenario that we were just looking at before work with 22 Social? Well, you go through the same thing. You have your attraction process. You have all of those various income streams, whether it's video courses, or you want to have an ebook, or some sort of PDF report or templates that you want to give people. Maybe you want to do virtual seminars or workshops. You can do coaching, consulting, subscriptions to newsletters or mastermind groups or a group coaching program. You can do affiliate promotions. And all you need is Facebook, 22 Social, and then the optional addition of a way to continue communicating through email, which I think is kind of important process as well.
Hmm.
But doesn't that look so much simpler?
You know what my favorite word is as it relates to this?
Yeah,
Elegant.
elegant.
It is.
Love.
This is elegant. It
Yeah,
really is.
yeah. And so, again, we love 22 Social. We love working inside of Facebook. And this is a solution that I think makes lots of sense for lots of people. It's not the only platform out there, but look at the range of types of things that you can do here. So our friend Libby, she owns a barbecue place where's she, in Alabama,
Oh,
right?
she's in Alabama. Some good
Yeah,
barbecue. Yep.
yeah. She runs a barbecue place and she runs a contest on 22 Social. She's building up her list, being able to promote, special offers, coupons, special events that are taking place all through 22 Social. And she's building a community around her direct engagement and her personality. That's pretty cool.
Yep.
And then you have things like video media. You have coaching. There's so many other applications. There's digital products. There's physical products. There's Kickstarter campaigns to get funding for different things, for causes. There's direct marketing and network marketing opportunities that
Hmm.
can be promoted through this platform. It's really about directly engaging and building upon a community, and this really can work in just about any industry.
You know what I'm about to do, David?
Tell me.
I'm going to blow your mind and
Okay.
everybody who's watching. I'm getting ready to do a virtual book signing tour. Yeah,
Ooh.
through my 22 Social app. I'm going to
How do you
do
do the
a.
signing part?
Oh, you guys will have to come back for it. That's that's a whole other conversation. We'll have to put that on the calendar. I'm going to do
Cool.
a virtual book signing tour. I'm going to be in my studio at home, and I've got people across the country that are going to have people where they are, and we're going to, and 22 Socials making that possible, along with some
Excellent.
other things. But yeah,
Well, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that training. That's
yeah,
very exciting. All right. Well, let's move on to step 3, and this is really the most important part, because we can learn and learn and learn, and we can even buy stuff, but unless I borrowed this from my neighbors down the street at Nike, unless we just do it, we
yeah,
just dive in there and get it done, and fail miserably a few times before we finally figure out how to succeed.
yep,
Um, yeah. Yeah. So here is how this all works. Just get in there and do it. Embrace the simplicity of what the folks over at 22 Social have coined this term, the one app launch.
hmm,
And I want to talk a little bit about that and how that all works. But here is the secret behind the one app launch. Are you ready? Keep it
mm.
simple.
I
Keep it
have loved
simple.
that. I have
And
loved that.
okay, so we don't want to scare people. We want people, not only the business owners who are putting this stuff together, but we also want the consumers who are out there who we want to engage with to actually engage. And the simpler you make those steps, the more accessible you make what you have to offer, the easier it is to avoid the kinds of barriers that people might feel filling out long forms or doing backflips get access to you and your business and what you have to offer. So if you're familiar with the concept of a lead magnet, we're going to talk about some of those in just a moment. But do you want to define a lead magnet here quickly, Sabira?
Absolutely. It is just about any piece of content that solves one problem. Just you offer them a solution to one problem.
And that's really really important, that one problem thing, and
Mhm.
that's so what could lead magnets look like? They could look like PDFs or checklists or ebooks or a preview chapter of a book or cheat sheet. It could be a series of videos that really solve what would be called a qualifying problem, which really is getting somebody to say, yeah, I'm interested in this. They raise their hand and they have to give you their email address in exchange for getting access to these videos, for example. And because they've expressed that interest, they're telling you that they're actually a qualified candidate for where you'd like to bring them next in the solution that your business provides. How about software? Maybe you build and sell software. Well, what if you give them a preview version of it, a less robust version or a light version of the software? Coupons or certificates or vouchers. I have wineries who I work with, and one of the things that we really want to do is get people into the tasting room. So what do? We, in exchange for their email address, give them tasting vouchers to come in to the tasting room and try some of the wine. Right? That's a great way to get people to become exposed to your business and start them down the path of becoming more familiar with you and what you have to offer. Just like video, you can offer audio. How about case studies where people can learn from what somebody else in their world, in their industry has done? Giveaways and sweepstakes is another great solution. Free consultations. That's something that a lot of folks you work with might do,
Mhm.
right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Coaches love that.
Yeah.
Authors, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And then here's one that our friend Will came up with, and I love this one.
I know which
Instead
one
of
you're going to
giving
say. I love this one too.
instead of giving anything away, here's what you give them. As a lead magnet, you give them the opportunity to get notified when you're
Mhm.
about to do something. So you don't have to have anything in place. You simply can say, "Hey guys, I'm working on something really cool. When it's ready, I'd love to tell you about it. All you need to do is click here, tell me who you are, and I'll notify you when it's ready." Is that not the coolest lead magnet?
That is how I have grown my pre-launch community for my book.
Brilliant. Brilliant. You'll
Easy.
make sure to tell us where we can find that, by the way, right?
I absolutely will.
Good.
Absolutely will.
Good. All right. Now the benefit of all of this simplicity is that you have the ability to experiment, find out things that are working and things that are not working, and then be open to changing them. But if you have a lot fewer things to focus on, it's much easier to make changes, right?
Hmm.
So let's talk about how to do this in sort of that lean startup concept. How do you get lean and be relevant with what you're doing? So focus on an idea that's different than you might anticipate at the beginning, and be okay with the fact that you might have to change that concept, that idea. Right? This is really really tough. We have this concept that we know where we're going with our business, and we get locked into something and we don't want to change it. But if you're open to the idea of being able to change, it's okay. Right?
Yeah.
Experiment for validation, so you actually want to see that there's people out there who are doing the things that you think they're going to do, and that they're following the process that you want them to follow. And if they're not, again, be open to change, tweaking things so that you can move forward and be increasingly effective in your business. And you can get feedback instantly, whether you're actually getting feedback from people telling you that you've got the right model in place, or you can simply get the feedback from their behavior or their lack of doing something. That is invaluable in terms of moving your business forward really really quickly and effectively. And you can do this all virtually real time. I mean, you get something up, drive a little traffic to it through some Facebook ads or something, and within a few days, you'll have the data that you need to know whether this is the right direction or not in your business.
Mm-hmm.
Not to overthink things, just keep it simple. And finally, start with just one simple app. And we've been talking about 22 Social and their whole one app launch process. And you're probably sort of thinking, yeah, this is a cool idea, but how do I do this? How does this apply to my business? Well, the guys over at 22 Social have put together a crazy program that is kind of like a no-brainer in terms of joining into this and figuring out how this all works. And whether you use it in 22 Social or you use the concepts to apply to something else you're doing in your business, I want to tell you about their program called Speed to Launch. So, Baer, do you want to walk through this, or should I walk through this?
You know what? You go ahead.
Okay.
And,
So you've actually been through this whole program, I believe, right?
I have. Yep.
So in the program, they are offering a month to access every single corner of their software. This is pretty amazing software, as you've heard from both of us, and you'll get 30 days to get in there and use it in every aspect of the software and play around with it in your business. You'll get immediate access to training, including two very cool trainings that are really popular in the 22 Social community. That's the One App Launch training, and then the training that Will, I think, did on defining your irresistible offer. And this is a very in-depth training that I have bought entire courses on and spent, I don't know, $197 to get a course that taught me the stuff that Will is giving away as part of this program. Then there are 4 live weeks of interactive workshops that I think they're sort of just doing this in continuous rotation every week. Is that right?
They are. Yeah.
There is a 30-day revenue roadmap so that you can sort of figure out how all of this can be monetized, because that's the point, is bringing income into your business, whether it's a new business or whether it's an existing business, making sure that you have a roadmap to how to monetize all of this. Then there's weekly live discussions, Q&As. There's I think they're doing this over at Blab, but of course there's also inside the Facebook group where there's nonstop discussion wherever and whenever you want. And then there's access to that community, and as the two of us are proof, access to that community is really where it's at. So I've mentioned Will a few times. Here's our friend Will Irish. He is a professional life coach. He's a Facebook marketing and Facebook advertising expert, and I have learned a ton from him. He's one of the smartest guys I've ever encountered, frankly. And you can see the community over here on the left hand side. You want to add anything to what he and the community are all about?
You know what? The main thing to me, it's a group of people that have integrity, that nice people, and super intelligent. The way that information flows so openly, like I have never paid so little and received so much. I really, if I tell you how much I paid over the years, it would be it's frightening and mind-boggling, and I don't ever want to tell anybody how much I paid. And then I find
for other stuff, you mean?
Yeah, for other stuff. It's like and then I get here and it's all laid out. Like, here, just take it if you want it. It's incredible. Good group of people.
What I have to say is, there's so many of us in this group now. There's over 500 of us who are active in this particular group, and then we have some other groups where we're learning from each other constantly. But we're all in these different industries, and we can, what's the word, arbitrage, right? We can take concepts and ideas and share them with each other and think, boy, I never thought about that, because it's not something that we see in our own industry, but others are using in theirs, and that is amazingly valuable. I want to get back to the point that you made about how crazy inexpensive this is for what you're actually getting, because this whole speed to launch thing, this 30-day process, these guys are giving the store away for a whopping $2. And that's what I think is so
Yep.
so freaking cool here, is that you get in there, you get all of this training. You don't even have to continue using 22 Social if you don't want to, although you're going to get hooked once once you do, frankly. But it's $2 to get in there for the month, to go through all of the training, to get access to this community. And you can get over to DIYdigital.info/launch now and get inside of this program. I think it's a total no-brainer for anybody who really sees the value in doing this on Facebook, doing it with such simplicity, and working with people who have not only the knowledge but the ethics, the morals to be teaching good stuff, not shady, scammy, or the trend of the week in online marketing stuff. So
yep.
hey, I'm gonna come back onto the screen here, and let's wrap things up here for folks. I think I'm gonna come back here. So I got so many windows open, so I'll jump back over to you while I'm stopping that. So last thoughts, Subira.
You know what? I think if there's anybody who has ever wanted to finally bring their business online, or at least want to see what's possible, I would just say this is a place to at least stick a baby toe in the water. See what's possible. Come over, ask some questions. In the group, tell us what it is you're working on, and people literally, you put something in, and within minutes, people are popping out, giving, offering solutions. So.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I think our friends who founded this company, Renee and Andrew, and then Will, who's working with them on all the training and education stuff. They are shocked by this, right? They created this community, and somebody goes in and asks a question about some technical thing, and these guys are busy. They're running this company, and what happens is the users get in there and start answering questions for other users. It's amazing, and it really speaks to the quality of the people in this community as well. So,
agreed.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we should start wrapping things up. You had mentioned something earlier about this book launch thing and the book tour, and I want to know here in the app, if people are watching this live, there's a link to connect with you and learn more about you. But tell us a little bit more about that, because I'm kind of curious.
Okay. So, for folks who don't know, I'm writing a book about my hero's journey through breast cancer. I'm a breast cancer at the tail end of treatment right now. And yes, thank you. And so I started writing what I learned as an entrepreneur, and recreating your life when it's demolished, and what are the kind of things I learned by going through this really tough thing, about myself, about my business. So I'm using the 22 Social app to basically have people who want to be involved, and the community is actually going to help me syndicate this launch. So
Cool.
everyone who's in there, I'm going to show them how to use the app, show them how to syndicate. And they're going to actually see the inside underbelly of how does a book get written, a self-published book get written and published and launched. So, and it's about launching it now.
Beautiful. I love it. So where can people find that?
Yes. So you go to prelaunch.senseisubira.com. Prelaunch.senseisubira.com.
Excellent.
That's right.
I'll try to remember to put that in the notes under here as well.
Right.
Well, brilliant. Hey, Subira, thank you so much for spending time with me today and with all the folks out there. And I'm looking forward to more conversations along these lines in future weeks. So
absolutely. Thanks everybody for joining us.
Take care, guys.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.